Imagine a philosophy so timeless that it transcends centuries, cultures, and every imaginable change in human civilization. Picture a mindset so resilient that it not only endures but thrives amidst the rise and fall of empires, the birth of new sciences, and the endless ebb and flow of societal tides. This is not the domain of legend or myth, but the very real and enduring philosophy of Stoicism. Welcome to an enduring guide to living with purpose, resilience, and serenity. In the next 10 minutes, we will embark on a journey through time, exploring ancient wisdom that has shaped the lives of slaves and emperors alike. It's a philosophy that does not discriminate, but empowers each individual to seek their own virtue and peace amidst the chaos of life. It is a way of viewing the world not as we wish it to be, but as it truly is, and ourselves not as we fear we might be, but as we have the potential to become. So, take a deep breath, let the clutter of your mind settle like dust after the storm, and prepare for a dive into the history and origins of Stoicism. In the bustling city of Athens, amidst the echoing steps on cobblestone and the vibrant chatter of a city in love with knowledge, a new thought was taking root. The agora was not just a market, but the beating heart of Athenian democracy, a place where ideas were the most valuable currency. It was here, under the watchful gaze of the Acropolis, that Zeno of Citium, after a fateful shipwreck, turned his commercial loss into the wealth of wisdom. His discovery of Socrates' teachings set him on a path that would challenge the status quo of Athenian thought. The philosophical atmosphere at the time was electrifying. The teachings of Plato and Aristotle had already laid a formidable foundation. Yet it was within this crucible of intellectual fervor that Zeno, influenced by the likes of Crates the Cynic, began to articulate a new philosophy. Amidst the intellectual blossoming of the Hellenistic period, Athenians were seekers, often finding themselves at the crossroads of myriad philosophies. Skeptics questioned the possibility of certainty. Epicureans sought happiness in pleasure and the avoidance of pain, and the Cynics eschewed materialism for virtue. In this diverse landscape, Zeno's Stoicism offered an oasis of practical wisdom. His lectures at the Stoa Poikile, or painted porch, provided an anchor for those adrift in the sea of philosophical confusion. Stoicism wasn't just a theory to be discussed, it was a discipline to be practiced. It advocated for a life in tune with nature and the universe's rational order. Stoicism called upon its followers to master their responses to life's tempests through the cultivation of 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By embracing these virtues, one could achieve a state of apatheia, or freedom from destructive emotions. As the golden sun set on the Greek city-states, the horizon of Stoicism expanded, reaching the heart of Rome. There it found fertile ground in a culture that prized virtue and strength. Stoicism's influence blossomed, shaping the lives of those who would lead and define an empire. In Rome, Stoicism became the creed of emperors and slaves alike. It was in the writings of Seneca, the teachings of Epictetus, and the meditations of Marcus Aurelius that Stoicism's practical nature was epitomized. Their words echoed the Stoic ethos, an unassailable spirit amidst fortune and misfortune alike. In contemplating the origins of Stoicism, we gaze upon the pillars of an enduring philosophy. It is a philosophy that stands like the ancient columns of the agora, weathered yet resolute, inviting us to seek the tranquility that comes from living a life aligned with virtue and reason. Let us turn our gaze to Zeno of Citium, the progenitor of Stoicism. A Phoenician merchant by trade, Zeno was no stranger to the ebb and flow of fortune. It was a shipwreck that cast him upon the shores of Athens, where the loss of his cargo became the acquisition of a new treasure, philosophy. Through the tutelage of Crates, the cynic, Zeno learned that real wealth was not in material possessions, but in virtue and wisdom. He honed his teachings, combining the cynic's ascetic lifestyle with the Socratic method of questioning, and soon the Stoa Poikile became his podium. After Zeno, the torch of Stoicism was passed to Cleanthes of Assos, a man who embodied the Stoic ideal of perseverance. By day, Cleanthes labored as a water carrier. By night, he was a dedicated student, earning the nickname the Ass for his unyielding work ethic. Cleanthes expanded on Zeno's teachings, emphasizing the harmony between man's rational nature and the divine logos that orders the universe. His hymn to Zeus is a testament to his belief in a providential order, guiding all things with wisdom and love. Chrysippus of Soli, the third leader of the Stoic school, was the systematizer of Stoicism, a philosopher of immense intellectual prowess. It is said that without Chrysippus, there would be no Stoa. He was a prolific writer, reputed to have penned over 700 works, laying down the foundations of Stoic logic, ethics, and physics. Chrysippus's philosophy offered a mosaic of interconnected ideas, where logic served as the bones, ethics the flesh, and physics the soul. In Rome, Seneca the Younger rose to prominence, bringing Stoicism into the realm of politics and drama. As a statesman and playwright, Seneca infused his works with Stoic principles, navigating the treacherous waters of imperial politics. Through his letters and essays, Seneca addressed the complexities of the human condition, discussing subjects as diverse as grief and happiness, wealth and poverty, power and servitude, always through the lens of Stoic virtue. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, remains one of Stoicism's most iconic figures. His reign as emperor bore the mark of his philosophy, as he sought to govern with reason and justice in a time of war and plague. In his Meditations, a series of personal writings, he articulated a vision of a life led by reason and in harmony with the universe. His musings reveal a man who, despite his imperial power, struggled with the same issues that confront us all: duty, mortality, and the meaning of life. Each of these philosophers, from the merchant Zeno to the Emperor Marcus, shaped Stoicism with their insights and experiences, crafting a philosophy that continues to resonate with the timeless quest for wisdom and virtue. As we delve into the core tenets of Stoicism, we begin with its most fundamental principle: living in agreement with nature. But what does this mean? For the Stoics, it was a call to align with the universe's inherent order, to recognize our place within it, and to act in accordance with our rational nature. Living according to nature involves understanding the web of cause and effect that governs the cosmos, acknowledging that while we may not control external events, we can control our responses. It is a dance with destiny, where each step is guided by reason and virtue. At the heart of Stoicism is the pursuit of virtue, the highest good and the source of a fulfilling life. Stoics believe that a life of virtue is the only path to true happiness, not the fleeting pleasures or material success that so often preoccupy our desires. For Stoics, virtue alone is sufficient for happiness, because it lies in perfecting the self and mastering our own actions. When we focus on being just, brave, wise, and disciplined, we are no longer slaves to our passions, but rulers of our own souls. Stoicism extols 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom is the knowledge of what is good and evil, what is right and should be pursued, and what is wrong and should be avoided. It is the rudder by which we navigate life's turbulent waters. Courage is not merely physical bravery, but also the strength to face internal challenges, to stand firm against adversity, and to remain true to our values, even when faced with personal loss or social pressure. Justice is the commitment to fairness, duty, and the good of the community. It's about acting in a way that respects the rights and dignity of others, ensuring we contribute positively to society. Temperance, the final virtue, is the practice of self-control and moderation, the ability to resist excess, and the discipline to maintain balance in all aspects of life. These virtues are not isolated traits, but interwoven threads in the fabric of a Stoic life, each supporting and reinforcing the other, creating a resilient and harmonious whole. Beyond personal virtue, Stoicism speaks of the rational structure of the universe. The Stoics believed in a world infused with a divine organizing principle, the Logos. This natural order is rational and purposeful, and humans, endowed with reason, are part of this grand design. By accepting the natural order, Stoics find tranquility. We embrace our destinies not as victims of fate, but as active participants in the cosmic narrative. It is in the acceptance of what we cannot change that we find our freedom, and in the wise action within our control that we find our power. Thus, Stoicism lays before us a path to peace, through virtue, the embrace of our rational nature, and the acceptance of the universe's grand tapestry. Think of the countless individuals who have turned to Stoic principles over millennia, finding solace and strength. You are part of this grand tradition, a living thread in the tapestry of a philosophy that spans across ages and civilizations. Contemplate your path and how the wisdom of Zeno, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius can guide your steps. Reflect on your values, your actions, your role in the greater whole. How can you walk more firmly in the way of virtue? Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Our thoughts are the architects of our destiny. Cultivate them with care, fortify them with virtue, and let them be directed by reason and compassion. As we part ways in this moment of reflection, the invitation stands. Embark on the Stoic path. Let its practices be the tools with which you build a life of purpose and peace. The world unfolds in complexity, but your inner strength can be the simple, unyielding core of your existence. As we conclude, remember that the practice of Stoicism is a journey, not a destination. It is a daily commitment to growth, wisdom, and inner freedom. It is a promise to oneself to strive for a life of virtue in the midst of life's inevitable ebb and flow. Embrace the Stoic way and let it guide you to tranquility and contentment. Your life's happiness, after all, is a reflection of your thoughts and actions. May they always be as clear as the day and as deep as the ocean. Walk boldly on this path, and in each step find the joy and equilibrium that Stoicism promises. Until we meet again, may your thoughts be your sanctuary and your heart your compass.